Good day to everyone. We are grade 12 students belonging to the Accountancy, Business and Management strand from FINMA University of Pangasinan, Dagupan City. And we are here to present to you our research paper. But before that, I am joined Christina Santos. I am Rosita, Eileen Doria, Joshua Rosario, Angela Bagal,
And Gian Yasunay.
we are here to present to you our research paper entitled The Impact of Sleep Patterns on the Mental Health of Students in University of Pangasinan. We hope that you will find our study informative and interesting.
Chapter 1 talks about the problem. According to our research, sleep pattern is a biological rhythm that guides body as when it is asleep and when it should awake. Sleep pattern and mental health are closely interconnected. According to the study, a human person should get at least 8 to 10 hours per day. As per teen students, getting enough sleep is very important because of rapid physical growth and activity which can cause overfatigue. We seek to answer different questions determining the impact of sleep patterns to the mental health of students of UPAM. We want to know the profiles of the students affecting from sleep patterns in terms of their age, sex, the hours which respondents spend in their sleeping, the status, and the significant impact of patterns.
At this point in time, I presented to you the scope and delimitation of our study. Our focus on the impact of sleeping patterns to the mental health. This study covered to find if sleeping patterns in University of Pangasinan affect the mental health of individual with the source utilized. In this study were contract from recent article and from online services. The researcher is not obligated the medication in treatment when respondents are having a abnormal sleep patterns and does not include improper implementation of the process related to the medicine.
To talk about the background of the study, most specifically to the motivation pursuing our research study, I am Gian Jasim Abidal. This study talks about the impact of sleeping patterns to the mental health of the student. And our motivation in pursuing our research study is our readers, to be able to have them knowledge and information about their mental health status. When it comes to the significance of the study, the significance of this study talks about its benefits to the various sectors such as students, teachers, parents, community, and the Philippines. It serves as a guide to provide them more knowledge about the impact of sleeping patterns to the mental health of the student.
This chapter 2, a review of some related literature and studies which were directly related to the study and provided the researcher the necessary background and information. Moreover, the literature and studies contain her and help the researcher and the interpretation of the findings of this research. A review of literature and studies given both of foreign and local.
Talking about the Chapter 3 of Research, which entitled The Research Methodology, it tackles how the certain data and information address the research objectives and questions that must be collected, presented, and analyzed. It includes the research design, local of the study, respondents of the study, data gathering procedure, data gathering instrument, and statistical treatment of data. But now, I will discuss to you specifically the research instrument in obtaining data. There are various types of research instrument. but we chose to use the survey questionnaire method. A set of questions were made for the 47 respondents of ABM 3A for them in order to answer it.
I'm Mylene Zoria. I present to you how data gathered. Collection is a process of gathering and measuring information on variable of interest. There have a 7 step of how data gathering. Step 1. Ask a letter from the advisor. Step 2. Validation of questionnaire. Step 3. Do pilot testing. Step 4. Produce questionnaires. Step 5. Orient the students. Step 6. Distribute the questionnaires. And the last step, Step 7. Collect the papers.
I am Dulce and I'm here to present to you the limitation of the study and their solution. At the beginning of the conduct of our research, we were so full of doubt and hesitation that we were able to finish each and every chapter correctly. But every time we hit the deadline, we realized that we doubted ourselves because we were dependent on our capabilities, not realizing that we are a great teacher who believed in us, who taught us everything we needed to make our own research. We have support system. It wasn't easy. The pressure of deadline was always in our mind, but hard work really pays off. What we consider a payback is not just a grade, but the life lesson we can apply for a lifetime. Through conducting our research, we were able to learn more about discipline, time management, determination, teamwork, and enthusiasm. We have to learn to trust ourselves, balance everything, and have faith that we can surpass all the pressure ahead of us.
Once again, good day to everyone. I am here to present to you Chapter 4 of our research. Chapter 4 is entitled Presentation and Analysis of Data and Interpretation of Findings. This chapter presents, analyzes, computes, and interprets relevant and substantial data from our study. To sum up our Chapter 4, we have created 4 tables. Let's start first with Table 1.0. Table 1.0 shows the frequency and percentage distribution of the profile of the respondents in terms of gender and age. We can see from here the number and percentages of data regarding the gender and age of our respondents. Next, we have Table 2.0, which shows the number of hours of sleep of the respondents. We can see from here the number of hours and the percentages. Next table, we have Table 3.0, which shows the status of mental health of the respondents. In this table, we can see indicator statements from our survey questionnaire. We have their weighted mean, their transmuted description, and their descriptive equivalent. So from this table, the result shows that majority of the respondents have highly stable mental health status. And lastly, we have Table 4.0, which shows the correlation between sleep patterns and mental health. So this is computed through the value of Pearson R. It shows the result of 0.152, which means that the null hypothesis is rejected. There is a weak correlation between sleep patterns and mental health. Therefore, there is a significant impact of sleep patterns to the mental health of students.
The profile of the respondents, it shows that 8 of them are male and 39 of them are female. With regards to their age, it shows that 4 of them are 15 and below, 31 of them are 16 to 17 years old, and the 12 are 18 to 19 years old. For the number of hours of sleep of the students, 1 of them had 0 to 2 hours, 2 of them had 3 to 4 hours, 21 of them had 5 to 6 hours, and 20 of them had 7 to 8 hours, and the 3 remaining students had 9 to 10 hours. Next, in terms of the mental health of the students, there are 3.64 weighted mean with transmuted description of high status. The computed value for Pearson R is 0.152, which means that the two variables have weak correlation.
Chapter 5. This represented the summary of finding conclusion based on finding and recommendation drawn from the conclusion. The findings of the study were ordered according to the specific sub-problem stated in the first chapter.
The societal importance of our study is that a lot of people will know about their sleep patterns and how it affects their mental health. Therefore, they will know how to handle their stressors, they will know how to manage their time well, and they can balance everything that they do.
To know the importance of the impact of the sleep patterns to the mental health.
Our study focused on the impact of sleeping patterns to the mental health of the student of Pilma University of Pangasinan senior high school students. Our respondents includes only the track of 12 ABM 03.
At the beginning of conducting of our research, we encountered that we were so full of doubt and hesitation, and the pressure of deadline was always in our mind. But then, hard work really pays off.
Our research questionnaires is important because it will help those people having a hard time in sleep, and it will help them to be aware.
The most important source of our work was the internet. But if we are to give two specific sources, we have the Google Scholar and other approved research papers. They offered a lot of help that we greatly needed in the conduct of our research.
The main instrument used in this study is a survey questionnaire. A set of questions were made for the 47 respondents of ABM 3A for them to answer it, to gather vital information and valid data.
In 12 ABM 03A in Pilma University of Pangasinan, there have 53 students, and the sampling method we use is random sampling method.
Measure method we have used in our research, average weight mean and correlational for the hypothesis testing.
The profile of the respondents, it shows that 8 of them are male and 39 of them are female. With regards to their age, it shows that 4 of them are 15 and below, 31 of them are 16 to 17 years old, and the 12 are 18 to 19 years old. For the number of hours of sleep of the students, 1 of them had 0 to 2 hours, 2 of them had 3 to 4 hours, 21 of them had 5 to 6 hours, and 20 of them had 7 to 8 hours, and the 3 remaining students had 9 to 10 hours. Next, in terms of the mental health of the students, there are 3.64 weighted mean with transmuted description of high status. The computed value for Pearson R is 0.152, which means that the two variables have weak correlation.
The origin about our study is the survey questionnaire because we're the one who provide the question for them to answer it. The strongest part of our research is the credible and valid data that we gathered from the survey. And the weakest part is the finding the certain foreign and local studies for our research.
Our recommendations are parents should encourage their children to have enough number of sleep hours. Teachers should impart their knowledge to their students about time management. Students, on the other hand, should take care of their mental health despite their busy schedules and activities. Lastly, future researchers should conduct the same study but will offer more reliable sources and valid data.
The importance of our study is for the awareness of everyone about the effects of lack of sleep and the effectiveness of having a sleep pattern.
If we were to conduct our study again, we are gonna change our strategy because that is where we had our weak point. Advice that we could give ourselves if we are to go back to the start of our research is, we shouldn't doubt our capabilities. We should believe in ourselves because we are not alone in doing this. We have our teachers, we have our sources, we have faith. And the time that we have spent in doubting should have been the time we spend in setting our goals.